hello again, everybody.
Oh, Harry! Oh, yeah, Harry!
You know, there comes a time when you probably ought to stop broadcasting. I probably should have quit about 5 years before I passed.
I think we should have quit about 20 years ago.
That's okay. I've been listening since 10. I can't make anything out of it.
What am I to count? What do I know? We only deal in truth here.
Oh, my God. What world am I living in? Scott Barter's making me laugh.
Don't you feel a little stupid? Go over there this afternoon. Throw your worm in the water. See how that works out.
Throw your worm in the water means something different in Los Angeles.
Well, it means about the same thing here in Kenosha. Wow, things haven't changed.
That's what I'm saying. I can't make heads or tails which part is which.
Was a virgin sacrifice?
Not that I recall. We couldn't find one.
And not in Kenosha anyway, right?
Get through what you got to get through, Scott.
This program is a real challenge.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you're about to see is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Everybody, this is Uncle Scotty Barter, and welcome to the April 28th edition of the Kenosha Today Weekly Report, coming to you live from Studio A here at AM 1050 WLIP, streaming worldwide and booming across the cool and crisp cornfields of the Mid. You're really enjoying this, aren't you?
Why wouldn't I?
Reaching out to over 1.4 million listeners here in the Tri-County area. Being brought to you this morning by our major sponsors, the Boathouse Pub and Eatery and Barter's Financial Planning Services, along with a host of other very fine local businesses. With us this morning, my personal legal advisor, Emil Schneider, Esquire.
You know, Scotty, I had a very traumatizing day yesterday.
Yeah, wait till you think I got problems. Wait till you hear this.
Well, first of all, you know, I just had talked to Willie and Kate a couple of weeks ago, and they assured me that the new royal brat was going to be named Prince Elmo. And then they made him Louis Arthur George or something like that.
That's going to be our City and Jeopardy question.
Okay.
According to the Kenosha Today monarchy, we'll get into that.
But then I'm driving down the road, and my car was attacked by a giant bloodthirsty rooster.
And they say I drink too much.
I thought I was hallucinating, but I did get out of the car and I took pictures of the rooster. So I did. They will be up on Facebook. We're gonna.
You know, it's probably somebody's pet. Seriously.
I have no idea.
But you just threw it you just kind of tied the legs and threw it in the trunk, and it'll be on the grill by tomorrow.
I probably should have done it. It was a very healthy rooster. I can
you know what? By the time we pluck the feathers and put that on the old Weber grill, put a little seasoning on that thing, that's going to be tasty.
Mm-hmm.
Then we will need a lawyer. Hey, you know, now that Michael Cohen seems going to have some time on his hands, maybe we should ask him to join the Kenosha or the Scott Barter Dream Team, huh?
You can go on the Michael Cohen book tour.
Yeah, right.
James Cohen. James Cohen. Okay.
Our guest this morning was going to be stormy weather, but she's
got a plumbing issue and needs to be serviced by her landlord.
It's too nice outside.
She's apparently with her attorney writing one of those non-disclosure agreements up. We weren't aware of that.
I don't know. No, she's going to reschedule. She will be in here soon.
Being serviced by her plumber. Boy.
Landlord. Yeah.
And as he is every Saturday, our video coordinator, the love doctor, Spider Ronnie, the camera dude, joins us here at Camp Happy Face.
Good morning.
Apparently in the slump of his life after going over the month of April, but, you know, May's just around the corner, so you got that to look forward to. Yep. And engineering and board operating, the Kenosha Today trolley ride this morning, Wacky Wayne joins us here in the Enchanted Kingdom. Guess the missus is going to be laid up for a little bit more.
Yeah, another 4 weeks.
Who's going to be cutting your yard? Not you. Don't go out there and set precedent.
Luckily, it's an apartment, so somebody else cuts the lawn anyways.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Saves a lot of time that way.
This week, the Kenosha Today Secret Word Challenge is sponsored by Barter's Financial Planning Services. With over 35 years of tax preparation and financial planning experience, let us guide you through all the options that are still available, and you can use the new tax code to your advantage and save the maximum dollars for your family. Give me a call, 262-652-6767. And the Kenosha Today Brain Trust has pre-selected this morning's secret word, and the first caller to say the secret word will win $20 Boathouse gift card from Barter's Financial Planning Services. Coming up after the 10:30 weather break, Kenosha's fastest-growing game show sensation, the Lightning Round of City in Jeopardy, sponsored by the Boathouse Pub and Eatery. And then after the 11 o'clock break, this week's top 10 thought-provoking category, written at Amen Corner, where gray hairs matter. The top 10 good things people are saying about Kenosha. You know, we might make light of some of the inadequacies and some of the things on occasion, using hypotheticals, right?
Right, yeah.
But these are the top 10 good things people say because we want to stay positive here.
Sure.
Always.
Why wouldn't we?
Also, during that half hour, we'll be playing Stump the Chumps and allow one of our lucky listeners an opportunity to see if they are actually smarter than the chumps that sit here in the studio every Saturday. And if you're successful in stumping the chumps, we're going to let you join us for an upcoming show and see for yourself all the intricacies and the planning and the technology that goes into producing a high-powered, high-energy radio show like this. And there's even more, boys and girls, after the 11:30 break, our special weekly editorial segment, which is
As the water spout turns.
As the water spout. That's preparation.
That's what we came up with. All right.
Well, we thought we were going to have the weather bunny in here.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
This
As
week's
the weather bunny turns.
Yeah, let's use as the weather bunny turns
That's
because
good, okay.
that kind of fits in more.
Right,
with
because she
the
turned
side.
around and walked the other way.
Oh, she's not stupid.
Probably a good idea.
This week's High Five Zingers and Doofuses. And it gets even better, folks, for those who might have forgotten. Tomorrow at noon, each and every Sunday, you can tune in here at AM 1050 WLIP and listen to the replay of this show. And then you can watch the replay of this finely tuned, professionally produced excuse for a radio show on Time Warner Cable's Channel 14, Tuesdays at 5, Wednesdays at 6. And you know, I guess I got a call already.
Yeah, you
I was
might as
gonna
well.
go into
Yeah,
this
you know
other
what it
thing.
is.
I got a question.
All right.
Morning,
Good
Shirley.
morning.
Hello. How's everybody doing today?
Oh, fine.
What happened to the weather bunny?
Well,
She has a plumbing issue.
She has a plumbing issue and apparently going to be serviced by her plumber this morning. And,
Okay.
and Roddy's got a plumber's crack here,
Yeah,
and it ain't him.
yeah. And I do listen to your show tomorrow and on cable, 5 o'clock on Tuesday, 6 o'clock on Wednesdays.
You just can't get enough.
You know, Shirley,
No, I can't.
you probably understand all that because you read the article that was in the paper on Wednesday, and you know, I can't talk about the specifics of it, but I can talk about the article, which was written by a very fine reporter, Bill Guida from the Kenosha News, who historically, well, he did mention that we do a weekly talk radio show. He didn't mention WIP,
Right,
Wayne.
right.
So I mean,
Yeah,
and
we're
he did mention what you just. What did he say?
We're clear. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he did mention community access cable TV show, and we appreciate the promotion.
And he didn't mention that Shirley calls in every single
He
week.
didn't mention. Yeah, we were upset with that, along with in any other article Mr. Guida has ever written about me over the years.
The two-time failed mayoral candidate, or the photogenic memory.
Yeah, he never mentioned that I was a two-time failed mayoral candidate, and at the age of 65, I had a photogenic memory. And
He didn't mention that.
No, he didn't, but he's in every other article he has. And I want to point out another thing that would have been germane to this article was the plaintiff had his mother's power of attorney, also paid all the fees associated with this thing, and even picked the name of the corporation. So to suggest I did all this without his knowledge is pretty goofy from my standpoint. Hey, by the way, Shirley, hang on, I got to ask. Wayne, does this disclosure that they play, does that carry over to me?
No, definitely not. That's just to protect the radio station from the things that you say.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, Shirley, I'm glad that they pointed this out, that we are on the radio here. And
You sure are. My friends, we all listen to you.
Well, you know, Shirley, this now I get to an article that, since we're talking about lawyers, this was in, I'll let you guess the name of the city. This gal sits in the county jail charged allegedly, like all articles should say, allegedly with drug trafficking, and she's old enough to be someone's grandmother. She's 72 years old, and apparently, allegedly, they have her pegged as a drug dealer, but and the police say that they got a tip that she was coming to Memphis to sell marijuana. And this gal's last known address coincidentally, was Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Uh-oh.
I'm reading this right off. It says Granny busted in drug trafficking operation. And investigators found more than 4,500 grams of marijuana in her car, more than 2,600 grams of marijuana, totally, and 126 THC cartridges and even edibles inside a storage unit. And claiming where she was hiding the pot. Of course, I'm not telling you something you don't already know. And according to her attorney, they say because of her age, investigators should give her a break because it's going to be legal anyways. So
right. Give her a break.
And free Shirley now. And so it says,
yeah, right.
What is a 72-year-old little old lady going to do to anyone anyway? She faces 12 counts of possession and a controlled substance with the intent to sell. So I guess the question, Shirley, is how do you plead?
Not guilty.
Good answer, Shirley.
Good answer.
You don't win anything, but good answer.
Right, yeah.
Now, Scott, I have a comment to make on
the
way that article is written.
Yeah.
You notice they make it sound like it's huge quantities of this stuff by saying so many grams instead of like 2 kilograms would sound like nothing, but 2,600 grams sounds like a whole lot. They do. They do this all the time.
Oh, guess who wrote this article?
Not that much.
Guess who wrote this article? Some guy named Bill Guida. He must have sent this down on the UPS truck or something. We're just trying to make friends and help everything.
Yeah.
Influence people. Yes.
Yeah, we're not going to influence nobody. But,
Well, there's that.
But this is why I think Trump gets so upset with reporters, because you leave out a couple major things out of a story, and it takes on a whole completely different story.
Right.
See, like Amo just said, 2,600 grams is not a whole lot, is it?
It's 2.6 kilograms, but they wouldn't never put it in that.
Is that right, Shirley? We're just quizzing you.
Right.
I can do math, unlike you.
No, I'm asking Shirley. So what were you doing?
I hope Gunga calls in today. I know what he's going to say today.
Well, we've got some questions for Gunga.
Always.
They're still waiting for the panty raid.
No, that's pretty out. We got something more important
something to do. Okay, yeah, something better than
for
that.
him. And then we also waiting for Dennis to call in, and we got something for him, and we got something for everybody today. So.
Good for you.
And next week is we got El Cinco de Mayo. Is it not El
Cinco de Mayo and Derby Day?
And Derby Day, and when Gunga calls in, wait till you hear the big announcement we have for him.
Oh, I bet it'll be good.
Oh. Huge, it's huge. It's huge.
It's a double humper.
Huge, yeah, right.
Yeah. So, but at any rate, that's the what's going on here. And of course, you have Mother's Day coming on, and
yeah, a couple of weeks is Mother's Day.
If you need a turkey for Mother's Day, we have obtained one. We have a name for this turkey?
Rooster.
A rooster.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was a giant rooster.
It's a gorgeous looking.
This thing
bird.
made a T-Rex look like Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
I can tell you.
So, anyway, Shirley, well, we appreciate the call as always, and stay with us, and
I will
say hi to the girls in the church choir.
I'm with you, so.
All right, baby.
We're all with you, and we'll all be listening. So.
Okay. And I'll let you know when the conjugal visits start. All right.
Okay.
See you later, Shirley.
Bye-bye, 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 bye-bye.
Of course, everybody can now sign up with the thousands of our fans and listeners who have joined the Kenosha Today Nation and like us on Facebook. And also, you can visit our Kenosha Today website, KenoshaToday.com, designed by Capo Web Design. And every Friday afternoon, we still get together at 3 p.m. for Getting Silly with Scotty. I've abandoned that Sally business. I've been in the women's bathroom much too long.
It's just not worth it.
It's not worth it. I ain't getting. I think I got enough stress in my life to worry about getting caught in a women's bathroom.
Probably.
And I'm using my afternoons on Friday to much more productivity. What's your question, Spider? You got a question?
I got a question. Is there a law in the state of Wisconsin, how texting is illegal? People driving with their pets on their laps. I saw some knucklehead trying to turn a corner.
With a pet on his lap?
Yeah, and the dog's getting wedged in the steering wheel, crawling up the steering wheel. I'm like...
Well, I know it's against...
Distracted driving.
Yeah, inattentive driving is what they call that, right? Yeah. No, not it. Well, if he gets in an accident, they call it inattentive driving. And
That's
but
so irritating. You see that a lot, too.
there is a law. I've seen women doing their makeup
Putting on
and
their makeup.
their makeup.
Guys shaving,
driving,
going down
yeah,
the
guys
road.
shaving and reading the paper with no hand.
But that's so irritating. And if the window's open and the dog's half hanging out the window.
Spider, I can feel your pain. I can feel your pain. So if anybody wants to host out there in the Kenosha Today Nation wants to host our Friday night afternoon production meeting, give me a call at 262-652-6767. We can get together, and of course we'll have to discuss the very high standards that we need to
High standards.
Very high standard.
Speaking of positive, I mentioned this. This picture, the article in the picture was in the paper. It had me in my flag shirt.
Yeah.
Well, coincidentally, just on the very same day, I get my certificate of registration. What a coincidence! From the Library of Congress for our CD that we did back in October 4th of 2016. It takes that long, and finally, I Am the Flag is registered, certified, and I thought I was the only thing certified. Now this
Certifiable.
for a Bible, yeah. See, that's why I was a 65-year-old guy with a photogenic memory.
Right.
This thing lasts for my life plus 50 years.
Right.
Not counting today.
Right.
So, anyway.
I noticed that certificate is signed by Richard Nixon. So
Tricky Dicky.
Well, we're going to sue his ass too, aren't we?
What was that paper that you had in your inbox? What was that?
Oh, this thing, I very seldom get mail here.
What name was on there?
It says Barter's Bouncing House.
Granny Clampett.
Granny Clampett. Where's 4777 88th Avenue? That's Highway C, isn't it? No, that's not. Highway H is 88th Avenue.
Yeah.
And 47 would be the north side.
That sounds like the detention center.
Oh, you know what it is? That's exactly what it is. Page of the order of Granny Clampett. They got my picture, 150,000. And they spell my name wrong, but that's exactly what that is. That's the detention center. So who says I don't get hate mail?
Who says it's hate mail?
Granny Clampett, 150,000. Well, I start dating her. What the heck?
Hey, she's a great cook.
Hey, as a public service,
Got some possum cooking in there. So.
Yeah.
as a public service, of course, everybody knows about the big fire hydrant flushing that's coming out this week.
Oh, it feels so good.
Get your soap on a rope and get out.
Wait
there,
all
baby.
year for that, don't you, Spider? Okay.
Maintaining and flushing all the fire hydrants
Holiday for me.
north of 60th Street. Hey, take a bag lunch and a bottle of vodka and make a day of it. Yeah. Beginning work on Monday, April 30th, and some customers may experience a short period of cloudy or discolored water. So what you have to do is you open the lowest faucet in the house for 5 minutes to clear the water. And if you have any questions, you call the Kenosha Water Utility at 262-653-4315. And yeah, I guess they'll have to flush this out. So for those that haven't been, don't have a shower or a tub, take some soap and a couple towels and go out there. And there's nothing that says you can't do that.
When are they doing it?
The work's going to begin on April 30th, Monday.
Monday. Ah, it's supposed to be in the 70s on Monday.
70s, yeah. Bring some sunblock, too, so you don't burn
Yeah.
off the good parts.
You're standing in front of a hydrant. What good is it to put on the sunblock? Just blast that white off.
Well, see, there you go, being nitpicky again.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
Quit paying attention to the details. Got it. See, You're telling me I'm hanging on your every word. I mention the words you use, and then it's like, you got to change your words, man.
Yeah, well, okay.
Just
We're not married, you know.
It's true. There are reasons for that.
Big news, Bill Cosby found guilty of sexual assault.
Hey.
And all I can say is that...
Jello.
I like Jello.
Jallo.
At this... Oh, God, you boys. At this rate, the rooms in the lots at Pervert's World, we're almost filled up to capacity.
we got to start a new.
We got
we got the Cosby condos going up there, so
and we
that's
got the who's the guy, Harvey Weinstein wing, and then we've got Matt Lauer, and now
Tom Brokaw.
Tom Brokaw. We need some celebrity yeah. All he did was try to kiss her. Back in '99,
He tickled her, tickling Tom.
Oh well, tickling Tom.
And she said no, and he stopped her. So
so big deal.
Yeah.
How many times have you tried to kiss a girl?
he doesn't remember.
Since last night. and so she says no, but no, no means no for other things, but what's a kiss? And how many times has a girl approached you guys and tried to kiss you, and you said,
Not nearly often enough.
not really often enough. See, he's getting the hang of this. So anyway, who's going to be Tickling Tom's going to be next, I suppose, and these are at Pervert's World
Tickle Me
being
Elmo?
Tickle Me Elmo. They're going pretty quick here, and of course Trump's attorney is to plead the fifth, Michael Cohen, and on the Stormy Daniels thing, and of course it says here Stormy Daniels, whose real name is Stephanie Clifford. Well, we knew that because Dennis called us from the.
Isn't there a Gregory in there? Stephanie Gregory Clifford or something?
Yeah.
Like that, or
Well, it wasn't in this article. So again, shabby reporting by the Los Angeles Times.
Yeah, what do you expect?
Yeah, and so anyway, but I highlighted that because we already knew that because Dennis from the Ozarks calling. We have a very well-informed audience. No
Smarter than your average bear.
No drugs and alcohol in their life. Here's a article that's kind of troubling. This runway expansion is eyed, where they're going to add another 1,100 or so feet to those two runways. You know, back in the mid-'90s, well, I don't know what they're doing it for. Back in the mid-'90s, they tried to do this, and a group called iCare banded together, and they went to an advisory referendum. And the problem was the guys that were voting were in the city, and the people were in Summers, right in this, in the surrounding area. They were going to try to make it into a cargo hub.
Sure.
And if they do that, Foxconn is not going to be the only thing that's
They're going to be
change this
scraping
community.
their wheels on a roof of Barter Manor.
That's exactly right. They come right over. I'm going to have to start closing my shades when those planes come over. And right now, it's my understanding that because of budget cutbacks, there is nobody in the tower, like a air traffic controller.
That's a federal thing.
Yeah, but there's nobody there. And they claim that they're not going to, according to this article, that they are not going to increase the traffic.
Okay.
But they're trying to increase the.
It's a safety issue.
Yeah. Well, all I can say is if they, I don't care if they increase the traffic or if they sell, God love them, if they sell more fuel oil, but don't let this thing go beyond 10 o'clock at night. I've got to be sleeping somewhere along the line.
Right.
And I don't want these big jumbo jets coming over my.
I'm pretty sure that enough iced teas, you'll sleep through at least the first couple, and then you're going to have to get up every hour on the hour anyway. So as long as they time it with your pee breaks, you'll be fine.
Scott, you already got the black helicopters hovering over Barter Manor now. So what?
I can just see the tower to barter, tower to barter. Please close your shades. We're ready to land.
They got to go instrument flight roof. Look at the gauges.
I'll probably have to put a big one of Ronnie's antennas with a real red thing on the top of my roof. And if anybody has a comment on that, 262-694-1050. You know that iCare, when John Anaranian was first elected mayor and he brought this in, I mean, they were vehemently opposed to the expansion, and it never went beyond that. But here we are all 20-some years later, and the fear is, at least I have a fear, that they're going to start landing bigger cargo jets, and with, like Ron says, with Amazon being right there and Foxconn. But I think our whole community is going to be changing. You can tell me if you think it's for the good or for the bad. Or anyway, here's a call right now that can tell me to do whatever. That's positive.
Probably not.
That's probably. Good morning. You're on Kenosha Today.
Good morning. It's Irish Ruth. I orchestrated a panty raid, and I actually have witnesses to the event. But I was a young, naive 17-year-old who just did not think that, and I was embarrassed. If it was going to be known as a panty raid, I would never have orchestrated it.
Well, what'd you think it was going to be? Were these men's panties?
They were Navy. They were Navy, and they were at the Navy shipyard right outside of Washington, D.C., and I had ditched the Smithsonian Institute, and there's a real ignorant thing to have done because I've regretted it all my life.
What part did you regret?
not going into the Smithsonian.
Oh, but
no man is worth it. The Smithsonian is more important than to go
no
to the
man
Navy
is
shipyard.
worth it?
Come on, Captain
That's
Mike is
correct.
probably, he's just cringing right now.
Oh, Eugene, you're right. You're right, Captain Mike. Oh, thank you. You're absolutely right. He's worthy. But, okay, so I told these guys that we were an all-girl high school, and they came. And the nuns were our guards, and I was not brave at all. I hid, really, truly hid. And they went through the halls, chasing the Navy out, and they said, "We know who did this. Where is she?"
Did you, now, when you say you orchestrated, would you go out, and how many people did you orchestrate to join you?
Well, I only met, 2 or 3 Navy guys at the shipyard.
This didn't work out real well.
I only had a couple of hours. No, there were more than that. I would say there were 10 Navy guys. Some came up that outside escalator.
The outside escalator trick.
Yeah, and they got in through the hallways, and they came in through the halls. So somebody must have reported, or the nuns were on the outside at the, one of the ends of the entrance, because the nuns became aware of it quickly, right away.
Well, Irish Ruth, I don't see where you should regret it.
I have witnesses.
I know, but
I don't think you're brave enough to do a real panty raid.
Are you laying the gauntlet down, drawing the line in the sand for us?
Yeah,
Scott
I don't think you're brave enough to do it.
Who would? Well, I got to talk to Gungo because he's our planner. And
now I think, is brave enough to do one. I really do. He's a leader.
Yeah, but
and
that's what we need in this country. But here's the problem.
Would you?
We were his plan was to go to this hair salon here in Kenosha, and I did some recon and find out these gals don't wear panties there. So what would be the point? Aha, Ruth, gotcha.
I don't know. I didn't quite hear the question. So
there was no question.
If you repeat that statement again, and I come up with a solution, then I'll call back.
Okay, here's real quick, and you don't necessarily have to call back. I did some recon on this particular hair salon because Gunga was hell-bent on taking the Camel Clyde and then the rest of us, and we were going to go on this panty raid. Come to find out, the women don't wear panties at this place. So now what?
I don't believe it. That's an excuse. I don't believe that. They don't want that publicity or their
God knows I don't.
Society's propriety.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I was not behaving myself when I did that. But I claim Fifth Amendment.
Sure.
17-year-old, I just thought that, and I didn't know it would go that far, that the nuns would be looking for me.
I tell you what, and then I got to go. Hang on.
I got a question for her.
Okay, go ahead.
I sent Scott this article about they have now taken a brain out of a pig and kept it alive for 36 hours, and they said this is going to be the future. They will be immortality for human beings. Yes. They'll be able to do brain transplants. So, Ruth, would you volunteer for that? You want your brain kept alive and then stuck in another body? That's my question for you. So.
Brilliant. When pigs fly.
Very good. All right, we got to go.
Yeah, Joe, no pun intended, but when pigs fly.
I tell you what, when you get up to heaven, I assume you're going to heaven, and you got to talk to St. Peter, and he asks about this.
No, I'm not. I don't think so, but I assume that I will be reincarnated again. By the way, I wonder if any of the military people are going to march in Michael Bell's protest parade, and how about the Kenosha PD?
We're not going to endorse that. No. So anyway, I got to go. I got to get. I'm way behind. All right, thanks. Irish Ruth in a panty raid. Can you imagine that?
Yes.
All the guys in the Navy, in the Navy. Hey, one commercial, and then we got to go to the.
We're way behind here. So.
Yeah. Let's do the commercial thing.
Oh, commercial first?
Well, you want to do your commercial first?
There was an article in the paper about job recruiters seeking an edge because they're finding it difficult to find prospective, in this case, drivers with a Class A commercial driver's license. In addition, some other small companies in a variety of industries are feeling some of the hiring pressure created by a good economy, which has created more jobs, driving unemployment down. And so I think what better way to seek qualified new hires than take advantage of the very, very low Kenosha Today advertising rates, increase your ability to fill these positions, because there are approximately 1.4 million people living in the WIP listening area, reaching as far south as North Chicago, west to Lake Geneva, and to the northern suburbs of Milwaukee. So if you're looking to fill jobs such as service types, truck drivers, general laborers, warehouse workers, to include any skill jobs, give me a call, 262-652-6767. We'll get you all the information and get you going on your way to filling up your employment thing. That's a way to end it.
All right.
All right, we'll be back in 2 minutes. Coming to you live from Studio A here at AM 1050, spreading the love to over 1.4 million people living in the WIP listening area that surrounds us here at Camp Happy Face. Also bringing you gas trolleys, backyard beavers, and saving the Kenosha Today nation from all the perils that do over Kenosha. We invite you to join the thousands of our fans who have already signed up and liked us on Facebook. And you can also visit us on the web at KenoshaToday.com. We are brought to you by our major sponsors, the Boathouse Pub and Eatery and Barter's Financial Planning Services, along with a host of many other very fine local businesses. Joining me this morning, my legal advisor, who, by the way, operates out of a red panel truck in the Boathouse parking lot, Elmo Schneider.
He's in the hopper right now.
He's in the hopper. Well, doing legal work. He's in the legal work. Along with Kenosha Today. Well, she's not here. The news bunny is, she's going to make another. She had some plumbing problems, supposedly. And the Kenosha Today Love Doctor, Spider Ronnie the camera dude, is here, having been passed over by aliens from Spider Dome on their annual pickup last week. And, of course, engineering and board operating the Kenosha Today train wreck this morning. As always, hanging on our every word. And the pretty face of WIP, Wacky Wayne, joins us here all the way from Antioch.
And that's a scary thought, isn't it?
What, Antioch?
No,
being
the pretty face.
Oh, I think you're looking.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
All right,
I mean, by comparison to all the others,
yeah,
if you line them up, yeah, I'm the pretty face.
Yeah, except for those gals over at the FM, they might have you by
they got me by a bit.
A bit, yeah.
At least
these other guys here in the AM.
Yeah, the AM side, no.
They also got you by the pound, too.
Right, yeah.
Coming up after the 11:30 break, our weekly editorial segment. This week it's As the Weather Bunny Turns.
Oh, yeah. Sorry I'm behind on the times.
Spinner.
There you go.
See, it's also known in the first half hour as this morning's Secret Word Challenge, sponsored by Barter's Financial Planning Services. With over 35 years of tax preparation and financial planning service, let us guide you with all the options that are still available. You can find out how you can take advantage of all the new tax codes to your advantage and save the maximum dollars for you and your family. Give me a call at 262-652-6767. We can set up a consultation. And if you should happen to mention today's secret word, we will send you a $20 Boathouse gift card. Also, the show is being recorded for training purposes. So
probable litigation, though.
Huh?
Yeah, we're recording for probable litigation.
Well, probable?
Yeah,
Do
probable.
we need any more?
Yeah. Let's not.
It's probable, but not possible.
Let's not put gas on the fire here, boy. Anyway, actually, I was going to say that probably you could blip out any words that might be inappropriate and prepare us for any upcoming litigation, which could be in high demand after this week. So,
one never knows.
And a special thanks to Elmo here. You can find the Kenosha Today Show 365 days a year, 24/7 up on YouTube. Are we current?
100%.
We're absolutely 100%.
That's what we like. That's what we like. And, of course, after the 11 o'clock break, this week's top 10 thought-provoking category, the top 10 good things people are saying about Kenosha. Not necessarily me, but about Kenosha. See, it's not about me.
It's not about you.
You're right.
And now, boys and girls, it's time to play Kenosha's fastest-growing game show sensation, the lightning round of City and Jeopardy, sponsored by the Boathouse Pub and Eatery. And to be eligible, no one from your household could have won any contest on WIP within the last 60 days. We will now clear the phone lines.
Clear.
And I'm going to read the question, which is a very sophisticated, intelligent, multiple-choice question. And you will then get 3 somewhat intellectual answers to choose from. After that, you will hear the ding. And the first caller to correctly answer the question wins a Kenosha Today $25 gift certificate to the Boathouse Pub and Eatery, located at 4917 7th Avenue here in Kenosha. Open Monday through Friday at 11 a.m., featuring weekly lunch and dinner specials. And coming up, the big Mother's Day brunch special, which is on Mother's Day, of course.
One would only hope.
Which is Sunday, May 13th from 9 a.m.
Music.
Yeah.
Oh.
According to the Kenosha Today monarchy tradition, instead of Louis, Arthur, and Charles, what should the royal baby have been named? According to the Kenosha Today monarchy tradition, instead of Louis, Arthur, and Charles, what should the royal baby have been named? A. Winkin', Blinkin', and Nod. B. Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Or C. Silly Sally and Sad Sack Scotty. 262-694-1050. First caller. According to the Kenosha City monarchy tradition, instead of Louis, Arthur, and Charles, what should the royal baby have been named? We have a caller there. First one there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Whoops.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. I say clear the phone lines. That doesn't mean
Let's
after
try
they
this
call
one.
in.
Details.
All right. Good morning on Kenosha today.
Good morning,
Who's this?
Virginia.
Virginia. You've called us before,
Yes,
right?
there is a Santa Claus.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Okay. All right, Virginia. Let me read the question here. According to the Kenosha Today monarchy tradition, instead of Louis, Arthur, and Charles, what should the royal baby have been named? A. Winkin', Blinkin', and Nod. B. Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Or C. Silly Sally and Sad Sack Scally. Virginia.
Oh, B.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Yes, that's a correct answer. Wow, Virginia. You've won before sometime back, haven't you?
Oh, a long time ago.
Yeah, so you know what happens today. You get to brag because you've just been named the smartest person in Kenosha for today. If we're not sure about tomorrow, this has only got a time limit on it.
Till the show ends.
Till the show, or till you're off the air pretty quick here. So what's going on in Virginia's world?
Oh, I'm walking the dog every 4 hours.
What's going on with the dog that needs going out for 4 hours?
Nothing. He's a Chinese Shih Tzu, and they love human
Careful
food.
what
He
you
loves
say on the
cycling.
radio.
Yeah. Say that again, but before you say that kind of
He's
dog.
a Chinese Shih Tzu.
Okay, did you get that blipped out? Now, if you have a glass of wine and say that fast 3 times, then anyway, do you have to take this dog out every 4 hours?
Yes, because I live on the 8th floor.
Oh.
In an apartment.
Well, just
In Kenosha?
Can't you just
No
hang him out the
backyard.
window?
what'd you say, Homo?
They wouldn't appreciate
just
it.
hang
Yeah,
him
just
out the
hang him out the window. Just make sure you got his feet tied. So,
Yeah, I wish I had a little porta potty elevator on the window.
Well, just why don't you teach this dog to go into like one of those little pans and then just throw it down the toilet? Is
Like
this
a cat.
Yeah.
You can do that to a cat, yeah.
I mean, you can't do a Shih Tzu?
Dogs don't appreciate that, no.
Oh, not a very smart dog you got, Virginia.
They leak on the leg of the toilet.
Well, put it, yeah, like Spider just said, you take a fake fire hydrant and put it in your kitchen and put a tree stump and let nature,
Oh, yeah, and put some pads around it.
Very good,
yeah.
Virginia. See, we are a wealth of community information, don't you think?
I think.
You think? So not only did you win a $25 gift certificate that I'm going to send you out on Monday, but you also got some very valuable information. And by the way, you did hear the announcement about the flushings of the,
Hydrants.
Hydrants. You did get that, didn't you? That coming.
No.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, let me read it to you again here. Coming up on, starting on Monday, April 30th, they're going to have a fire hydrant flushing throughout the city, especially on the north side of 60th Street. And,
Good to know.
And so that why don't you take your dog out there and let him run in the water?
No. I'm not going to park on that side either.
No, what do you mean on that side?
Where they're flushing.
What do you think? The dog's going to end up down the gutter and into the sewer? Yeah. It's not a very big dog,
but
is it?
They batter the cars.
Oh, I see. Very good. Well, then that's another good item. Off the air, Wacky Wayne is going to get your full name, address, phone number, and I'll send this out to you on Monday. Wayne, can I take this call while you're doing? No, I don't have a call.
Yeah, I was going to say, what call?
Well, there was a call there.
Oh, okay.
Well, you're doing that. You want to read this, Emma?
All right.
Sure.
Hold on, Virginia.
Oh, no, I don't have my glasses.
okay.
They're in the other room.
Go ahead. Hang on. I'm sorry.
I'll take care of it.
Wait,
Don't
wait,
worry.
wait.
Squirrel!
Squirrel. No, I do.
All right, Elmo's going to read this from Pete's Union Park Tavern. Yeah. Good morning on Kenosha today.
Morning, Dennis.
Hey, Scott.
Dennis.
How you guys doing?
Good. Yeah.
Did
What
I
do
hear you saying something about flushing?
Oh, yeah. It was his way
colonic
to give you a call in.
irrigation.
Yeah. All right. now that we got that out of the way with, last week you mentioned that the dilemma out in McGuanago with the beavers potentially causing...
Correct.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that because, excuse the pun, but I got flooded with a bunch of calls and suggestions on how to solve that problem. All right, here's the deal. You better follow this closely.
Okay.
You find the biggest auditorium out there in McGuanago, and then you spend $100,000 for a study to have a public hearing, and you can even send emails inviting the beavers to attend. You with me so far?
Did you get this call from Illinois?
No, just wait a minute. And then taking a page from the Foxconn playbook, and after wasting everybody's time and money on this dog and pony show, you simply take the beavers' dams by eminent domain. And you send these tail-flapping critters packing, just like Foxconn is doing. Game over, problem solved. Do we have to do all the thinking for you folks?
That sounds like a great plan, but I think it came from probably Illinois.
No, I don't know.
They're probably going to want to appoint a commissioner of beaver relations, too. And
That's us. That's us. We apply.
Make it a $150,000 a year job or something, you know.
Well, you know, this is how Foxconn gets all their stuff. They just grab it up by eminent domain and everybody's packing. And so this is how you get rid of... How many beavers are out there? Maybe 8? 10?
Save a tree.
Save a tree. And
you know, Scott, I just had a great idea. We dedicate part of Pervert World and make it a beaver refuge.
You're always thinking, Elmo.
I think that's a great idea.
We can relocate all the beavers into Pervert World. How about
Yeah.
I see that being a bad idea all the way
We
around.
could, you know, we got the Harvey Weinsteins, we got the Matt Lauers, we're going to have Cosby and all the rest of these
And then
guys.
all the beavers
and then
in
we'll
there.
have a little
Hey,
beaver
you might
thing.
even-
And these guys will have
Tom
free
Brokaw
access to
now.
the beaver.
Yeah,
I don't know if that- I don't
Tickling
think that's a
Tom
good
Tommy.
and all these rest of these guys. So, you know, we got to provide them with some kind of entertainment, and we could have, you know, just like a zoo. You have your like a zoo,
Like
and
a
it's-
very disturbed petting zoo. Yeah,
like a
got it.
petting zoo. Very good.
Very good.
I'm not taking all the credit here.
Make sure you don't have any underage beavers, though. You better not have any.
Did you hear Irish Ruth when she called in?
No.
It ended up that when she was 17, she orchestrated a panty raid
At the naval
Navy's-
base.
At the naval base.
Oh.
Yowza.
Well, when you have a panty raid, it shouldn't be at the naval base. It should be at the base of the naval.
This is Irish Ruth we're talking about. All right, you're on the three.
All right,
you're on the
David.
3-time limit, Dennis. I gotta go.
Hey, about the draft, I got to tell you, I think the Packers were very shrewd.
Yeah, but okay. I got to take this. You got to listen because we have
We have drafts and we have a
draft update and who the
Okay.
and who the Bears took. It'll be
Okay.
we'll get to it shortly. Good morning, you're in Kenosha today. That's it.
Good morning, Gunga.
Gunga, my man.
This is Ganga.
Yes. It's bad
Yes,
when
in
I
the
even
immortal
recognize your
words
phone
of
number.
June Cleaver, you're being a little hard on the beaver today, aren't you?
Okay, Ward.
Hey, Gunga.
Thank you.
I'm glad you called because we're in kind of the country's in a dilemma. You know, President Trump announced that he's going to be meeting with that North Korean president, one dumb chump.
Yes, they're going to be exchanging Korean recipes for barbecue.
Yeah, and the Trumpster stated that if he didn't think the meeting was going to accomplish anything, he wasn't going to go. And also, if he got there and things weren't progressing, he's going to walk out. So it's our suggestion that in the interest of world peace, that we send you, the parting prince of Pakistan, to help smooth over the rough edges. Are you in? Can I tell the Trumpster you're in?
You can count on me, gentlemen. However, I've got what is that cabbage that they bury out in the ground?
Ginseng or
the cabbage?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yes, the hot stuff.
It's
Yes.
yeah.
Ginseng? No,
it's something like that.
Yes. And talking about hot stuff, I heard you had Shirley Daniels earlier on the radio program.
Shirley Daniels.
Shirley Daniels. Yeah. And
I was watching some of her porn. I think it was Shirley. I was on YouTube.
Hey, and here's what's in it for you. Being so close to Russia, and Trump's announcing, apparently it came out that Russia has the best hookers, so I thought you can kind of mix business with pleasure over there.
Yes, they don't have the prettiest hookers, but they smell the best. The Pakistani hookers smell a lot like Korean cabbage.
Now you
Kimchi.
Yeah. Now you are going
Thank you.
to be on your best behavior when you go over to Korea, right? We don't want to.
Certainly, there will be no rear end pinching.
No. Hey, also, here's one last item for you. The Kenosha City production team has entered you and your camel Clyde in next week's Kentucky Derby.
I am a man of much busyness. I will not be able to attend.
Busyness? What do you mean? We spend a lot of money to put you in Clyde. You're in the double hump category.
Well, I'm a one humper. Your colleagues may be a two humper, but I'm just a single humper.
What if we gave you a? But there was two things. There was a 10 gallon mint julep limit, but we'll let you and Clyde split that if you get down there, and you have to get rid of your turban and wear one of those flowery hats that all the girls wear.
Mm-hmm. Well, I might attend for a fifth of Jim Beam in a couple of liters of 7-Up.
So much for being busy, right?
Yes. A man has got to set priorities.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Gunga. Well, call us next week.
Make some money, gentlemen.
All right, buddy.
Thank you.
See you, Gunga.
Good morning, Aaron.
No, I didn't take this one yet. Oh, we're pondering.
We are.
I am.
Does that mean
it's a name that you told me I shouldn't take the call?
No, we're not taking.
No, okay. Then I'll just watch it blink.
All right. Also, when Dennis was calling, we were talking about the draft. You know, the Packers.
Yes, you had a surprise
Packers drafted
a cornerback,
Louisville's Ajar Alexander as their number 1 pick, and he was the 18th player picked overall. And hopefully the Packers think he's going to be the playmaker that the Packers need. And meanwhile, the Bears drafted, get this, nose guard Captain Mike.
Number 1 draft.
Number 1 draft for the Bears, Captain Mike from the University of Hard Knocks. And here's some of the statistics. Captain stands 5'6", weighs in at 200-something or other. And he's more noted for wearing fashion boxer shorts with hearts embroidered on the front and back. So I can see why the Bears took him. You know, remember when they took who's the quarterback that always wore nail polish?
Jay Cutler?
Jay Cutler. Yeah, that's right. And so, you know, his real strength.
Well, his real strength is he can knock down the entire defensive line with his breath.
Well, he broke just about every. They think he's going to make a huge impact in the NFL, and hopefully he won't suffer any season-ending relapses. Do I have a legitimate call?
No.
Okay. And it is when he was in college. It took him 8 years to get through college. He was on one of those extended scholarships.
The super extended.
The super
senior.
He broke every training regulation that was on the books, and then some that weren't even.
They hadn't even thought of yet.
Yeah. So that's congratulations to Captain Mike for
He makes Paul Harding look like a choir boy.
Yeah. Let's see, what do we got coming up here? We've got a couple things. We do want to talk about this pig brain thing that you brought up.
We do?
Yeah, after we get back from the break.
Sure. Elmo, what do you got over there behind the curtain?
I don't know.
Somebody step on a mouse?
There's something waffling over there.
And then there's this thing called Hyperloop, and it's one of these, you know, like when you go to the one of these suction things when you go to the bank and you put your money in and sucks it up. This is what they're thinking about doing this, except they haven't worked out the particulars, and this would be a pretty neat thing. And you could get to, what's the example, from Chicago to Cleveland in about 30 minutes.
Why would you want to do that?
In a tube?
Especially go to Cleveland.
That's right.
Yeah, that's...
You know, I think
it's scary because you and I are now starting to think alike after a year or so.
I think I saw that once. It didn't work out too well for the coyote.
Yeah, right.
Wasn't that in the movie Running Man where they put Arnold Schwarzenegger in that thing and sucked him down into that?
It was more like a sled going down to the game zone, but yeah.
When we get back, we'll have the top 10, and then, of course, if anybody has a question about the fire hydrant flushing, and then we've got some other things. Mitt Romney taunting a basketball player, and then UFOs we're going to get into, and...
We are?
Yeah.
I don't want to get into
Landing in Ronnie's backyard.
Yep. And then, of course, the big news, Elmo's real dilemma when he got attacked by
the rooster.
The rooster.
Oh, yeah.
Do we have time? We're out of time for this.
Yeah, we're out of time.
Call us back if you got a legitimate...
Right, another time.
It's
Good morning, everybody. If you just joined us, this is Uncle Scotty Barter, and welcome to the April 28th Pick-to-Click edition of the Kenosha Today Weekly Report. Broadcasting live from Studio A here at AM 1050 WIP on your radio dial. Being brought to you by our major sponsors, the Boathouse Pub and Eatery and Barter's Financial Planning Services, along with a host of many other very fine local businesses. Taking serious journalism, and I mean serious, to an all-time high. Spanning the globe, reporting on national stories, state stories, local issues, or on occasion you guys might make stuff up.
I have made absolutely nothing up, thank you.
Oh, you got your own disclosure?
There's no fake news here.
I don't do fake news. Sure, we'll give it a whirl.
All right. Good morning on Kenosha Today.
Good morning. How you guys doing? This is Pete in Antioch.
Pete, hey, my man.
Hey. So we just played I Fought the Law. It kind of jogged my memory. One time I was at a watering hole, and they must have had like 12 versions of I Fought the Law, from the original all the way to the Clash to whatever. So we played them all. And by about the 7th or 8th version, I think people were getting a little annoyed with it.
Yeah, hard to believe. Yeah. Was that place in Wisconsin or Illinois?
Oh, it was when I was in the Navy. It was in Virginia, of course, you know.
Hey, when you were in the Navy, my question is...
Yeah, I heard there was penny raised in the Navy.
Were you in there? Irish Ruth. Did she get some of yours?
No, I wear briefs, so I don't have panties. But yeah, that's you know how that goes.
Well,
luckily, no, we don't.
They didn't get Scott's rhinestone encrusted jockstrap.
No, I'm good on that too. But yeah, they had a pretty good time in the Navy. 24 years, so it was kind of fun.
Well, were you on our side?
Well, yeah, of course. Yes. As a matter of fact, I had some pretty interesting encounters with some former Soviet Union sailors off of Baja, Mexico.
Well, we don't care about the drama. We want to. How about the gals and off the base?
Hey,
hookers,
did the Soviet guys bring the vodka?
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know, like I tell all the people in the Navy now, when I give them classes, I said, you know, every time a female sees you, your name is Cash, because that's what they're looking for. Because if they know you're getting a bonus, your name is Cash.
See, you should have given classes. You got 20-some years in the Navy.
I fell into the burning ring of fire.
I actually still work on the base, so I do give some classes on.
Did you have to? What's the most important thing? Make sure that they take some of those little funny pills, or take an abundance of protection things, or
they didn't have those pills back then.
Oh, very, very much so. Protection is very vital,
especially the Russian women. Nothing against the Russian women, but they've been noted, according to Trump, you know.
Well, some of the things they don't teach you in history, even in college, back in the 70s and 80s, Mexico was actually neutral during the Cold War. And, of course, the Russians didn't want to fuel with Cuban fuel because it was crap. So they would refuel in Mexico, and hence that's why you still have people to this day with names like Ivan Rodriguez,
Captain
and
Mike
Olga Gonzalez, because sailors will be sailors no matter what side they're on. So.
And yet we send Captain Mike down to Mexico for a 3-month thing. I wonder how relations are going there. No wonder I don't know if this wall that Trump wants to build is supposed to keep them from coming us, or from Captain Mike to go into them.
No, we send Captain Mike down there. No wonder everybody else wants to leave.
Yeah. Right. Now, we love the guy, so we're not, you know.
No, Captain Mike's a good guy. I've met him a few times.
All right.
All right. Well, you guys have a great rest of your show, great weekend, and I'm getting ready to go to my other job in about half hour myself. So.
What job is that?
Have a great day.
Okay.
Okay, Pete.
See you, Pete.
All right. Also, I started to get to this. Joining us this morning, our Kenosha Today connection, Elmo Schneider. A big concert to promote.
Guess what's happening tonight? We have the MGV Harmonia German Male Chorus concert at Petretti Gymnasium at Holy Rosary Church. Doors open at 5:30, concert at 6:30. It's a wonderful time. Tons of great German food and beer and other good stuff there, and it's a wonderful happening. So,
all right,
if you happen to be out, tickets are $10 at the door, and should be a nice night tonight. And just a little chilly, but it's good.
It's inside, right?
It's indoors, inside the gymnasium. So,
also with us, as he is each and every Saturday morning, every young guy's role model. Our video coordinator, Spider Ronnie, the Love Doctor. I was hoping that our weather bunny, Stormy Weather, who couldn't make it today, because I don't know if she's seen what a real love doctor looks like.
That's right.
Yeah.
With a Cleveland Indians baseball cap.
She may not be able to handle
plumber
it.
will be nothing.
So, and performing as both our engineer and board operator, Wacky Wayne graces us with his presence today. Wayne, along with the, other than the previous 60 Minutes, is there any reason why the Lord should be weeping today?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I think the Lord should stay dry-eyed. Everything should be okay there.
I mean, we got Gunga, we got Captain Mike as the #1 pick for the Bears.
Right, we had Shirley,
and then
Irish Ruth.
Irish Ruth, there's a cast of characters.
We've been dodging phone calls from unavailables.
Yeah.
It's
Got Dennis over with.
or undesirables, as it were.
We got Dennis in and out the first hour. on barely the 3 flush minimum. Too, right?
That is the maximum. After that, the phone just drops. Yeah.
For those who haven't signed on to like us on the Kenosha Today Facebook page, you better get on with that and see the most interesting posts of anywhere on the planet. And the status of this morning's Secret Word Challenge, sponsored by Barter's Financial Planning Services, has not been won. And with over 35 years of tax preparation and financial planning experience, let us guide you, as there are still many options available. Give me a call, 262-652-6767. And if you just happen to get lucky, Spider, maybe this is the problem. You don't get lucky enough. I know I don't.
Yeah, we could take this.
This one we can.
Captain Mike's ears must have been ringing.
I know I don't. Good morning. Good morning, Kenosha. #1 draft pick. Hey, congratulations.
Well, I thought they were going to pay me to insulate my house, so I said yes. I don't want to. The only things I broke was a bunch of bones. I don't want them guys attacking me like that.
Well, this is, the #1 pick gets probably at least a $5 million contract and a couple $1 million bonus. So once you get paid and lock that up, and they're going to put you at nose guard. What? You're 5'6", you're a couple 100 pounds, and you're going to go up against some guy 6'9", 300 pounds, and can outrun the trolley.
Hey, they need a replacement.
Retirement village called a cemetery or something.
No, Scott. Jay, not his real name. His Olive Garden date retired from the Bears, so that's.
Yeah.
Oh, Jay Herlocker. Yeah, everything on the menu. Yeah.
Yeah, getting back to that Mexico thing. I think that Spanish-American War, they were getting a lot of Irish people to join and get their citizenship, I think, for the U.S. They fought in that war. But they felt more sympathetic for the Mexican people, and they liked the climate, so they switched sides. There's people down there named Rodriguez O'Shaughnessy and stuff. There's a town called St. Patricio, and...
You're not pulling our leg now, boss.
No.
Rodriguez O'Shaughnessy, come on.
Pull your leg? No. No, but it's kind of true, though. And that St. Patricio, the town, they just about blow it up for St. Patrick's Day. They put a 40-foot tower with explosives. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. Somehow I'm just having a hard time grasping this.
Well, it's true.
Well, I'm sure if Captain Mike says it's true. It's just like Irish Ruth calling in and says she went on a panty raid at the Navy Yard. Well, which poses an interesting question. Suppose you were in the military, weren't you, or you went to train school? You were an engineer, right?
No.
All right.
Yeah, train stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Suppose Irish Ruth leads a panty raid on the train engineers. I mean, you're going to just give into her demands?
I'm jumping.
You jumped off the train?
Right out the window. I don't know, whatever. I hit the silk, man, hitting the gravel.
He wouldn't have to worry about it because the cars aren't attached to the engine.
Yeah.
Well, it happens quite often. No, who hasn't come unattached,
Like I said, I mentioned earlier, I don't know if you caught this, but coming up Monday is the big fire hydrant flushing, and it'll be addressing it in your neighborhood, so... I'd take your soap on a rope and your beach down when they open up get a good lather going there.
Okay, I'll do that.
Things to look forward to.
Well, is that the one where somebody said to turn on the lowest faucets in your house?
Yeah, to clear the water. Open the lowest faucet in the house. But if you really want the full effect,
yes,
this is probably not up your alley, but take a shot of bourbon.
Yes, yes.
You probably don't. Yes, yes.
So he's excited so far. You've got him enticed.
I'm starting to understand what we're talking about.
Here's how I get him his attention. I get him excited. Take a shot of bourbon. Here's how I bring him back to reality. Take your soap on a rope and go out in the street and start lathering up. I brought you back down now, didn't I?
That happened to me once in New Orleans.
Oh, no, here we go.
Well, yeah, we had this motor home from hell. You know the people involved in this.
I've heard this story before.
Well, I'm so glad I brought this up.
The water worked a little bit. I had like a shroud around me because I felt dirty, and I soaped up, and the water stopped. And there it was in the streets in New Orleans, full of like a mad dog, man.
A mad dog with a shroud on?
Well, I was all full of foam and soap.
You were drinking Mad Dog, right?
Boy, I just can't visualize. I just can't visualize this, man. Hey, by the way, I don't know if you heard, right? Probably about half a block away, Elmo got attacked by a rooster.
By a rooster
yesterday afternoon.
I heard that. Yeah.
And it was dramatic. He took pictures of it, so he didn't think he was hallucinating and been on some of those little funny pills.
Well, sure. It's kind of presidential. Remember the president got attacked by a rabbit that time? Remember that one?
I don't know. What president got attacked by a rabbit?
Nothing. It's true, man. Look it up in your funky.
The only rabbit attack I know is in Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
All right, well, Captain.
No, man, it was his Carter, man. I'm telling you. Oh, okay.
Okay. Well,
okay, guys.
Thanks, Mike. Right. Have a good day, buddy.
Okay. Bye, you too. Bye-bye.
Right. You said thanks, Mike. What are we thanking him for? Killing 5 minutes of our very valuable time.
Not being in the studio?
Well,
262-694-1050.
Thanks for staying home today, Mike. Yeah.
Hey, are we ready for the top 10 written in our home office at Amen Corner on the deck of the Boathouse Pub and Eatery? This morning's top 10 thought-provoking category, the top 10 good things people are saying about Kenosha. Number 10, after passing a new ordinance, Alderman rushing home before the drugs and the pills kick in. Number 9, able to cash in the free coupons with the gals walking on Sheridan Road. Number 8, the satisfaction that fixing the Lincoln Park Lagoon only cost us $1.2 million. Number 7, tourists referring to trolley drivers as the dudes with the leg monitors. Number 6, standing with pride watching school board members wearing yoga pants and tank tops in public. Number 5, radio hosts who constantly have to use the blip button. That's us. That's a good thing. Number 4, able to spit off the 50th Street Bridge without a permit. Number 3, get to hang around Barter Manor wearing a sash that says I'm with stupid. And number 2 words, frivolous litigation, and the number 1 good thing that people are saying about Kenosha. Lots of laughs while Foxconn is screwing the state of Wisconsin. Well, we've had a wonderful array of calls. Let's see who's on our phone line this morning.
Welcome back, Ruth.
A wonderful person, Irish Ruth. It was Brigadier General Taylor under his command in May of 1846 where the St. Patrick's Battalion was formed. They deserted from the United States
we ask that?
Army.
Did we ask that? We were talking about panty raids. So how did we get to the 1846 version?
Well, only that you thought that somebody was pulling your leg on the St. Patrice location in Mexico.
Oh, well, that was Captain Mike. We hang on his every word. We believe everything he says.
Okay, so that's who they were. They were under the command of Brigadier General Taylor. They had deserted from the United States Army because of the behavior of the officers of the United States Army.
What were they doing that was misbehaving?
Harsh treatment, low wages, really incredibly difficult military circumstances.
Not out drinking and chasing women.
I don't know about that.
That's how he became a brigadier general.
That's more your expertise. But my thing was the Navy came to the location where the Catholic Girls High School was staying outside of Washington, D.C., and that school was Taylor Street in Chicago.
I think we're losing. I don't know what happened.
We went on our Washington.
Thank you.
I think we're losing you somehow. There, on a clear day, how can we lose her?
Atmospheric conditions, too many sunspots.
By the way, when you're telling these little stories, here's a good idea. Have a point. It makes it so much more interesting for the listener.
That sounds like you.
No, that was Steve Martin. I thank you kindly for the compliment, but no.
Hey, look, boys and girls, the clock on the wall here in Studio A says it's 11:20, and everybody knows what time that means. It's time for all our listeners to strut their stuff and try to stump the chumps. And if you're successful in stumping the chumps, you will then have the privilege and high honor of joining us as a guest host on an upcoming show. Boy, it don't get much better than that, does it?
I'm still waiting for other guests to come in. We had 2 winners. And
Well, they never got back to me.
No? All right. These things happen.
Yeah.
Stage fright.
What's with the badge? Trying to make me feel at home. He puts on this
We
badge.
don't need no stinking badges.
You know what that badge was? The first day we got, Steve Casey and I got in here on November 1st, 2013. There were all these little pointy badges sitting here and pricked us in the buttocks from the last guy that was here.
Okay.
I just thought I'd digress.
Throw that in. Squirrel!
Anyway, this is a huge opportunity for our audience to bring something of intelligence, sophistication, or just general nonsense and prove to the rest of the Kenosha Today Nation that we are barely smarter than a 5th grader. After the phone lines are cleared, I don't think you even have to officially
No, we're
do
okay.
that.
Yeah.
You can take your trivia question or your song title, and the first caller to successfully stump the chumps, which this morning consists of Elmo, Spider Ronnie, Wacky Wayne, and myself, and 262-694-1050. And here's where we build up the act.
Let's get down to it. Hit me with your best shot. Why don't you hit me with your best shot? Hit me with your best shot. Fire away.
I guess nobody wants to come and join us. We've had a pretty good. We're batting over 500 on these.
They got to
things.
come up with something difficult.
Yes.
There is the delay, too. So
262-694-1050 if you think you want to stump the chumps. And if you win and you stump us, you get to come in here and you can deal with Irish Roof and Shirley in that group. So let us have all the fun. And while we're waiting for that, I should read a sponsor here. Who's this?
This is Rich from Gurney.
Rich?
Hey, Rick.
Yes.
Rick or Rick? Rich.
Either one.
Okay.
Sponsored anything.
So you must be married then, right?
Tell me about it.
Are you calling to stump the chumps or you just want out for the day?
Little of both.
Okay. So do you have a trivia question or a song title?
I have a trivia question.
Okay, what might that be, Rick?
During Shirley's panty raid, was she wearing A, thong underwear, B, crotchless panties, or C, granny panties?
So when do you want to join us, Rick? Should we just set a date now?
D, none of the above.
All right.
Go read that one again, just so that everybody. During Gunga's panty raid, what was Shirley wearing? A was what?
A is thong underwear.
Thong. Okay.
B, crotchless panties.
Okay.
C, granny panties.
Okay.
And then D is none of the above.
Means she
was not wearing anything.
No,
Right.
Nothing, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Give us a chance
Well,
to.
It can't be a panty raid if you're not wearing panties.
Well, that's what I tried to tell this Gunga, but he doesn't quite seem to grasp that. But
Yeah, he's had a few too many long Lennies.
long Lennies. Well, I guess I don't know. What do you guys, Spider? You want to take a shot at this? Thong, crotchless, granny, or nothing?
I'll say granny panties.
Yeah, I don't think
okay.
I want to take No,
You don't
I
have
don't
to-
want to take a shot at that. No.
No.
Well, we're going with granny.
The love doctor knows all.
Yeah,
so.
the love. That's why he's the love doctor. We're going with granny panties.
You're the winner. You got it.
He's the winner. All right.
We could not stump it.
We couldn't. You couldn't stump us.
Stump the chump.
Boy, don't you feel a little bad now because now you don't get to join us?
Well, I'm kind of sad that he actually knew what she was wearing.
Did you hear that, Spider?
It's sad all the way around. Yes.
Rick says he's very sad that you knew this, what she was wearing.
The love doctor knows all.
Yeah, he's a troubled man. But so you said you were married, huh? How long you been married?
6 years.
Boy, there's a real endorsement there, huh? 6 solid years.
I still have to do I got to do the math.
Oh, what do you? You got her. Do you get her flowers on anniversary?
Yeah, I do that.
Here's the next
I need
question.
a place to sleep at night.
Do do you know when your anniversary is?
I do know that.
Attaboy. Did you know when her birthday is?
I got that, yeah.
So you're 2 for 2. Now here's do you get in with this Sweetest Day stuff and give her all that stuff for Sweetest Day and Valentine's Day? Do you go overboard with that?
Sweetest Day I don't do. I think that's a pretty fake holiday.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day I'll do something though.
So you're only good maybe 2.5 times.
Don't forget Mother's Day.
Yeah, Mother's Day. Well,
Even if they're
okay. You do something for Mother's Day coming up?
Yeah, I do that. Yep.
Boy, you're the model husband.
You buy her anything for Christmas?
Yeah, you do anything or you just wait for Christmas?
Well, Christmas, she just gets, it's a bottle of whipped cream, and then I stand there and see
Yeah, boy, Rick, now I hear what this. Boy, oh boy, you should come in and join us. Anyway, you probably won't be married when you go home and to Gurney. Hey, you know, there's a chance that we might be down in coming down to do our show down in your neighborhood. I don't know when, but wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, I've been hearing about that.
Someplace
that'd be great.
in the north side of the mall that's been vacant for 20 years, and they
gonna chase the cockroaches and put us in there. Okay, all right.
Yeah. And they plan on doing this.
I know exactly where it's at.
Oh, you did? Is it bigger than about a 10 by 10 room that we're in now? and they plan on huh?
Sorry, go ahead.
And they plan on putting some window in there so the people in the mall can, it's like watching the animals at the zoo.
There's a window and then like a quarter. You put quarters in it too?
Yeah.
Well, we'll take money.
Feed the monkey.
Jeez. I like this guy's attitude. I
thought it was Spank the Monkey.
Oh, no. He's married.
Entirely different story.
That's what happens when you take
I'm married, so I know all about that too.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, I hope your wife's not listening to this, is she?
Nah, I hope not.
Well, tell her to tune in tomorrow on the replay.
Get the replay, yeah.
Say, well, Rick, you've been a wonderful delight in calling us, and I love the questions. And too bad you didn't win.
Thank you.
Because I think you'd fit right in here.
I think I probably would too.
And the problem is, in Wisconsin, it's community property. Illinois is not. So you might have to do some rearranging of some of your assets, or buy.
You can still join us for a production meeting. At a
Still
Friday
come up
night
if
at the
you want
Boathouse.
to. Yeah,
Yep.
Friday afternoon, 3:00.
I'm all about it. I'm off next Friday.
Oh, well, come on. You know where the boathouse is. Just don't tell your wife where you're going, or bring her along. No, you can bring her. We encourage that.
Sure.
My wife or my girlfriend?
Yes.
Oh, that might be.
Bring
that,
them
might, that might get a little rough there.
One or the other.
Here's what we do. When that happens, we put one on one side into the bar and the other on the other end, and then just hope that they don't meet.
Right.
And far be it for us to introduce them together. You came in with a smile on your face, and I hope you go home with a smile on your face, or get one when you get there anyway.
All right.
All right, Rick. Thanks.
I appreciate it. It was a fun time.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I better read this before we go. We've had some. No, we're not anti-marriage. It's just we're just trying to bring reality to this. And did you hear the excitement in his voice?
I know, right?
Is we got one call before the break here?
No.
Okay, then it's time to take a break, and we'll come back with. I hope Dave Best's not listening to this. We are back and heading down the home stretch on the Kenosha Today trolley ride this morning. If you just joined us, this is the April 28th edition of the Kenosha Today Weekly Report, coming to you live and streaming worldwide and to over 1.4 million people residing in the WIP listening area. Being brought to you by our major sponsors, the Boathouse Pub and Eatery and Barter's Financial Planning Services, along with a host of many other very fine local businesses. Oh, I had a little
came earlier this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a journal over here for every time you get a bubble.
It's like when you blip it out,
Right,
you get a turn, you got to write
I got
that
the
down.
bubble log over here.
Mr. Perry,
Every show.
Mr.
Yeah.
Perry requires a bubble log for me?
Well, in this particular instance, yes. It's for litigation purposes.
Yeah. Well, we can have to have a vault of paper for that deal.
Right.
This morning's cast of characters, Elmo Schneider, Esquire, and again from the galaxy called Spider Dome, the Love Doctor, Spider Ronnie, the Camera Dude. This on our weather bunny, Stormy Stormy Weather is not with us. And I
Obviously.
think she's really disappointed that she couldn't see what a real love doctor looked like.
Sure, she's brokenhearted.
And after
Look at this.
after I didn't see that, and I don't want to see it.
There are some things you just don't
It's
need
a good
to see.
thing the camera's pointed the other direction.
After they saw his picture with his bucket over his head on Facebook. Anyway, along with our engineer board operator, Wacky Wayne, all jacked up now, the state of Wisconsin has made the roadkill season year-round, 365 days a year.
That's right. No slowing down.
I actually heard an announcement today to watch out for animals on the road because it is roadkill season now.
Well, look at, do you experience that last night with that rooster?
Well, it was a roadkill. That was right by the possum, too, that I got the picture of. It was not
By
more
City
than
Hall.
Yeah, yep. I got to put them both up on Facebook again. So.
We are here each and every Saturday morning from 10 a.m. until noon. And if you happen to miss our Saturday show, you can tune in at AM 1050 WLIP tomorrow at noon and listen to the replay of this morning's broadcast. Don't forget to join the Kenosha State Nation and like us on Facebook. Status of the Secret Word Challenge to win a $20 Boathouse gift card from Barter's Financial Planning Service is still yet to be named. And don't forget, you can still call me at 262-652-6767 to schedule a free financial planning consultation.
I do have a clue.
Okay, do you want to? All right, give the clue.
This auditory annoyance may be somewhat mitigated by prodigious use of a 12-gauge shotgun.
Did you get that, Wayne?
Yeah.
No, here's the real thing. Can you say that one more time?
This auditory annoyance may be somewhat mitigated by prodigious use of a 12-gauge shotgun.
Okay, that's the clue.
No, I'm pretty sure that
this is why we don't pay out a lot on these. That's why I love him. That's why he's the sheriff with the badge. Always trust your bar to the man who wears the star over there.
Right.
And now, boys and girls, it's time for this week's special editorial segment, High Five Zingers and Doofuses. This morning's headliner, as these... What was
Weather Bunny turn.
Weather Bunny
turn.
Like the sands in the hourglass in the days of our lives. This week's high five goes to Kenoshan Jeff Wamble for having the courage to take a run for Paul Ryan's congressional seat. And with Ryan announcing a couple weeks ago that he was retiring, it didn't seem like anybody, either Democrats or Republicans, were all that interested. And although he faced an uphill battle, especially in raising the millions of dollars that would be needed for this type of campaign, nevertheless, Jeff was still going to pursue this. And however, enter Brian Stile, the Janesville attorney who had served as Paul Ryan's driver and is expected to be endorsed by Ryan, along with the shifting of Ryan's $6 million campaign war chest to him, probably made this an impossible task. However, in our view, Jeff Wamble would have made an excellent congressman, and we salute him for trying to make a difference. This week's zinger goes to House Speaker Paul Ryan for firing the House chaplain, Reverend Patrick Conroy, for no apparent reason. Ryan claims that the Rev wasn't doing a very good job tending to the pastoral needs of the lawmakers. To that we say, poppycock. The needs... Spider.
I'm okay.
He's on his own delay.
The needs of congressmen. Are you kidding me? Hey, the guy's a pastor, not a pimp, lawyer, or a drug dealer. And so for the first time in the history of the House, they send a man of the cloth packing, and the Lord wept.
Mm-hmm.
And all I can say is if any of these Republicans get to the gates of heaven, they're going to have to explain to Mrs. St. Peter, Nancy Pelosi,
No.
just what went wrong. God bless America. Is that a legitimate call?
I thought Sarah Palin
It could
was
be.
Mrs. St. Peter.
Well, let's take that, and I can finish.
You
this
want to
up.
finish this later?
Yeah.
All right.
Good morning. You're on Kenosha today.
Hi, how's it going?
Oh, fine. Who's this?
This is Patrick.
Patrick. Okay, Patrick. What can we do for you?
Nothing much. I was just driving down by the lake, and I got this ringing in my ears, tinnitus. And but the real reason was I was wondering if you had any information on all the squad cars that were down here.
We don't know nothing about
Whereabouts at the lake?
Kennedy Park, just between Simmons Island and Kennedy.
Really?
Yeah, they had it all taped off, and they all just left within the matter of 5 minutes ago.
I believe if you go to WLIP.com, they said the body was found in Lake Michigan. Investigation is ongoing.
There you go.
Right there, body found near Kennedy Drive and 4th Avenue along Simmons Island Beach.
How about that?
Okay.
Details.
We are all over this. Thanks.
Details are out as of this moment in time. That's all the information that looks like Pete had when he put it up on the website.
Stay tuned for all your news, weather, and sports here at WLIP.
Right here on Kenosha Today.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Patrick.
Thank you.
Hey, you're pretty good at this, Wayne.
Yeah, one would think I do it for a living.
The only guy that gets paid in here, right? Good morning on Kenosha Today.
Hello again, everybody.
Harry, how's it going?
Hey, I got a 12-pack on getting adjusted in the broadcast booth, and let's play some day baseball.
Cubs and Brewers are at it today again at 1 o'clock, I think, right?
Yeah, I got a 12-pack to start.
Is that just
it?
Is that just for the trip down from heaven?
That's just for me, unless Jack Brickhouse comes along, I'm in deep trouble.
Hey, I don't know if you've been listening. Do you know our buddy Ganga? Because he's trying to drag us on this panty raid. And who would know more about women's panties than Harry Carrier?
I've had a few of those on my head, believe it or not, and the glasses.
That's what I'm asking you for. That's just not.
I don't know. Who is this?
Who's this?
This is Harry.
I know.
Hey, did you guys get that new weather lady yet?
No, she was supposed to be in here, but apparently she had, her name was Stormy Weather, and she had a plumbing issue and was going to be serviced by her plumber this morning.
Believe me, I know about that. My age, let me tell you.
So,
Go ahead.
Didn't
you guys wear Depends?
On occasion.
It depends.
It depends. Depends on
men's diapers.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, let me do the weather.
Go ahead.
Okay.
All right, hang on a sec. That's Jack Brickhouse. Get him out of here right now. we got partly cloudy skies, plenty of sunshine, but the high is only going to be in the mid-40s. But around Wrigley Field, a high of about 52.
Is that with the drugs? After the drugs kick in?
No, I don't know anything about that. I got an Anheuser-Busch here, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it grows 12-ounce cans. Get Jack Brickhouse out of here. I gotta go.
Okay. I think the wheels have come off here.
No. It's just a time for...
This week's Doofus Award goes to all the oil companies for raising the price of crude oil, which means higher prices for consumers at the pump. Motor Club AAA, that would be the AAA. See how I figured that out?
Yeah,
AAA.
look at you go.
Reports that gas prices are the highest they've been in 3 years, which means that Americans are paying about $86 million per day more to fill up their tanks. Well, so much for all the tax breaks, because now that's going to be negated because of all this nonsense. Here's what we propose. We put in a trolley to everywhere, unlike the trolley to nowhere here. But we put in a trolley in every city to everywhere, and that's going to show these turban-guzzling yahoos from OPEC that we really mean business. Go Gunga. Go Gunga. Go Gunga. And anyway, there you have it, folks, as the
Weather Bunny
turns. That's right, for this Saturday, April 28th. I'm Scotty Barter. What are you groaning for? That might not have been the best stuff, but I can't compete with Harry Carey.
That guy was awesome.
Jack Brickhouse. Get him out.
Scott, I'm sure the stockholders of the oil companies are real disappointed that the price is going up.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. Yeah.
And everybody that has those in their 401k plans.
I better read this. Pete's Union Park Tavern. We had them in here. Selovich brought those two gals in here. That's when I was drooling that day. Just that day.
I think that was a different...
I think that's a different group.
That's a different group of girls.
No, those girls.
Well,
one of them was actually on that poll thing. I thought both of them. I thought they both were, but
No, the one was.
anyway. 262-694-1050. We're getting calls from a bunch of not only dead beats but dead people. I mean, so maybe we should change the name of this Kenosha Today.
Kenosha yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
Shirley's hours.
Anyway, as Elmo pointed out earlier, these pig brains have been kept alive outside their bodies for the first time as part of a controversial new experiment. The brains of hundreds of pigs survived for up to 36 hours after the animals had been decapitated.
Okay, well, yeah.
It could have paved the way for brain transplants. May one day allow humans to become immortal by hooking up our minds to artificial systems after our bodies, natural bodies, have perished. I don't know. You think this is going to fly?
So you're
pigs
saying
fly when
take the brain and put it in one of those, fancy dolls we've been talking about every couple of weeks. It'd be all kinds of.
Can you
electronic.
imagine putting my brain, whatever's left, in one of those $12,000
fancy dolls,
fancy robots?
Yeah.
Boy. Where was I
You'd
at?
never leave the house.
These researchers were able to successfully remove the heads of between 100 and 200 pigs to...
I bet they were successful in cutting off all the heads. Keeping the brain alive's another story.
Why did I bring this up? Anyway,
because Elmo sent it to you, and he felt it was necessary to bring up his story.
It's absolutely necessary.
He was just looking for a reason to snort.
Mr. College Boy, what if the pigs were dopers, and for most of their life they were on drugs and alcohol? I mean, all the brain cells are killed. So are you going to keep that?
No.
Elmo? Huh?
What's your point?
That's a question there. I don't have a point. Hey, here's a thing in Colorado, Castle Rock, Colorado. Sex parties hosted in one of the metro's nicest communities are angry neighbors.
Because they weren't invited?
Apparently they're having these parties, and it's causing parking problems and noise. And there are 400 guests were invited with 80, it's like a 7,500 square foot dwelling. And they had alcohol, food, vegetarian menu, chocolate fountain, and it showed 400 guests were invited.
To die for.
87 people, including 35 couples, and they sent RSVPs. And this gal who's a neighbor says she thought it was disgusting, just like you said, probably because she wasn't invited.
Typical Saturday at Barter Manor.
Yeah, right. Yeah, 400 people. The neighbor describes guests as being from all walks of life. I didn't think anybody would recognize me when I went out there.
You didn't think so?
No. That's my picture was on the front page of the Colorado paper that day. So,
I'm sure.
I mean, look who we get. Look who we invited. And
you didn't run into Captain Mike there, did you?
Well, here's the thing: is some of them were so old that they struggled to walk up the stairs. So he might have been there with 400 people. I didn't see it. And
thank goodness for small miracles.
They had 4 crock pots going, and it was here's the price: $70 for couples and single men, and $20 for women. I think that's discrimination.
Absolutely.
That's $70 for couples and single men, and only $20 for women.
Right.
What kind of message are they sending here with this?
That they would prefer more women, so they get in for a better price.
How long you been marketing?
Just saying. Here, let's make it $20 for all guys. You know what you're going to have at the party? All guys.
And no booze.
Now, I mean, if you're keen on that kind of party, Sally, you go right ahead and enjoy your party. Whatever goes.
We got 5 minutes. I hate to change the mood here, but we got 5 minutes left for somebody to call in for the secret word here, 262-694-1050. Give them the hint one more time, Elmo, if you can remember it.
What did I say? This auditory annoyance may be somewhat mitigated by prodigious use of a 12-gauge shotgun.
I'm pretty sure if you use 12-gauge prodigiously, that it will cure whatever annoyance you have, auditory or otherwise.
Yeah, what's the matter with
Problem
you?
solved.
Boy, he's been with us over a year.
Yeah,
he's turning
he's
into be the
catching on.
smartest guy on the planet. Okay, here you go, college boy. What are your chances of seeing a UFO today? Now here's
Today? Right now, I think I'll be okay.
Are we going to Spider Ron's house?
I was like, I think I'll be okay in this little room. I shouldn't have a problem.
Here's the story. In North Carolina, they had 7,570 reported UFO sightings since 1940. That leads the league, or the lead leads
Where
the
was
country.
this?
In North Carolina.
North Carolina? Some small town in North Carolina?
Well, the whole state.
The whole state. Wasn't North Carolina where they did a bunch of LSD testing?
I was going to say the drugs are a lot stronger in North
right.
Carolina than...
Something in the water supply there, yes?
Weren't the Coneheads from a small town in France?
Here's another story. We got just a couple minutes left, thank God. Mitt Romney is at this game, pro basketball game out in Utah. You know, he's from Utah.
Sure.
And he's got a Utah Jazz jersey on.
Yeah.
And so Russell Westbrook from the other team gets his fourth foul. And here's Mitt Romney standing up and holding up four fingers. And the report was he was reading it off a teleprompter.
Oh, jeez.
So, but Jack Nicholson used to do that. Spike Lee used to do that and sit in the front rows at the Lakers game. And where was Spike?
Well, Spike Lee was with the Knicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here you got these celebrities and taunting pro basketball players. I mean,
well, they're fans. It's the same thing you get in the cheap seats. They're taunting the players too. The only reason that Mitt Romney gets any play is because he's quasi-famous.
Quasi-famous?
Well, he's a politician. I wouldn't call him famous.
Umpire.
And lastly, there was this woman that got fined $500 for possession of an apple. This Colorado, she's traveling home from France, and she's charged $500. She was in possession of an apple, apparently on a flight from Paris to Denver. Delta Airlines handed out apples in flight, and she just put hers in her purse and was going to have it later. Well, when she gets off, she broke the customs rule by not clearing the free fruit. And she got, and it was still wrapped in the Delta wrapping, and so she gets hit with a $500 fine.
Fight it, she said.
She's going to fight it and says, unfortunately, someone has to go through and be treated like a criminal over a piece of fruit. And she claims another lawsuit coming. I can see this now.
Yeah.
We can handle that one, too.
Probably near on your horizon.
Isn't it like a piece of fruit being treated like a criminal?
Yeah. We were going to try to get through the end of this, like last few minutes.
Almost.
But she's claiming that Delta was negligent because they didn't warn passengers not to carry produce off the plane and let them pay for it. But I've had this happen with a couple that came from Mexico, I think it was, and got fruit and didn't think nothing of it. And she didn't get fined $500. But she goes, I was bringing...
They might have bugs or other vermin on them. You got to watch out.
Vermin? Vermin. So anyway, all right. Since nobody won the secret word. The secret word today was Elmo was
a 12-gauge shotgun used prodigiously can eliminate chirping.
Chirping. See?
You spelled it wrong too. There's only one P.
You know, I did that. I checked that out. Believe it or not, I thought that looked a little long.
Yeah.
And so I went to spell check, and it says it's correctly. So
you never have three consonants in a row.
Well, I knew that.
Unless you have an Eastern European name.